We begin tonight with breaking news. Bexar County deputies chased down the driver of a stolen car. That chase began near Loop 410 in Rigsby. It ended near I-35 in Riddiman. Investigators say a deputy was hurt when the chase began and is in the hospital at this hour.
Yeah, let's take a live look at the scene right now. Investigators are towing away an SUV, and right now we know 2 men and a woman are under arrest facing multiple charges. Deputies say one of the men is affiliated with a bike gang. The woman was allegedly found to be hiding drugs. We're also told the driver who led deputies on this chase is in the hospital. Deputies say he had a medical issue when he was placed under arrest.
Obviously, this is a story we'll have more on GMSA in the morning. Meanwhile, a senior prank that got way out of hand is a story we've been covering on air. It's trending online at KSAT.com right now. Many of you reacting on social media tonight. Some saying students should be made to clean up the eggs, the meat, the toilet paper they threw through the halls at New Braunfels High School.
Yeah, others calling it a sickening waste of groceries during a time of inflation. There is an investigation to try and find out who was involved. The night team's John Paul Barajas reports at least one student was already suspended.
Like the principal told us, like no matter how far you went, as long as you trespassed initially, as long as you went in the door, you're suspended.
This student feeling the impact from a senior prank at New Braunfels High School.
Yeah.
Senior Liberty Rule says she didn't think the prank would go as far as it did, adding she was under the impression it was only going to involve balloons and streamers and that district staff would be supervising.
A couple of people walked in with like cheese and instant mashed potatoes, and I kind of knew from there it was gonna go south. And there was like people like barricading doors with like tables and stuff like that.
Pictures circulating among students show toilet paper and what looks like raw eggs on trophy cases. A screenshot of what appears to be a New Braunfels police email was posted on social media. It lists other damages like clogged drains and flooding from fountains. Everyone who's been identified now may not be able to walk at graduation.
Wednesday is our rehearsal for graduation, and I might not be able to go to that. And if I can't go to that, I can't go to graduation on Thursday.
A police spokesman could not comment because of the active investigation, and a spokeswoman for the school district would not comment on any discipline for privacy reasons. Students guessed 100 kids attended the senior prank.
I think community service is a fantastic thing. You know, hey, you know, if you're going to do the crime, you got to do the time.
You're adults now, almost adults. You're grown enough to know that if you do something, then there should be a consequence for that action.
Now, police did say that they caught a large group of people committing criminal mischief last night on the high school's campus. Those people were identified and released on scene. As for the senior we spoke with today, she says she's hopeful the investigation will clear those who did not cross the line in the senior prank. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
It's John Paul. Bribes and drug deals leading to an indictment against a former Bexar County deputy and several gang members. 33-year-old Armando Trevino is facing 6 criminal charges. This is a case that stems from 2019. Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar says he believes Trevino was smuggling drugs into the jail. Salazar says investigators saw Trevino make a drug deal at a gas station near Broadway and Loop 410 soon after Trevino resigned. Salazar says there is a strong possibility of more arrests in the case.
And on the Nightbeat, you've probably seen the social media posts about a local bar increasing its age limit to 25 and up. Bentley's on Broadway made that announcement on their Facebook page, but they're not the only business doing this. The bar Horizons and More advertises itself as being a place where, quote, the grown and mature come to relax, play, eat, and dance. They've chosen to raise the age for entry to 30 and up. They opened the doors back in March and say business has been good. And the owner wants to keep it that way by protecting her brand, she says.
I don't do drama. I don't allow drama. That's why my age limit is 30 and up. I love my 21 and up, but sometimes they don't really know how to control their alcohol. Now, some of them do, some of them don't. But for those that do, that's wonderful. For those who don't, that's why we do 30 and up.
Now, we tried to speak with the owner of Bentley's on Broadway to find out why they raised their age for entry. They declined to comment.
Let's get to a Nightbeat update on a popular bar district. Parking hurdles could be ahead for residents and patrons of the St. Mary Strip. We got a preview at some of the results in a traffic study that focused on parking in that area. But those who've already been briefed say the solutions won't be easy.
Let's not worry so much about whether one thing, two things, five things is going to solve all the problems. Let's commit to this being something that is it's not a project to be finished. It's something that we're going to continue to work on.
Homeowners in that area complain of bargoers parking in neighborhoods and leaving trash behind or even vandalizing property. The study was done in a period of 3 weekends with and without barricades. The study showed more than 500 outside visitors parked in that community to visit venues and bars on the weekends. Now, some of the feedback indicates that homeowners want to see limited parking by permit only. The councilman for District 1 says there may be other solutions.
Here's another thing that we're really looking at is how can we create more spaces for rideshare operators to pick up and drop people off in the community, because really, we want to incentivize that behavior.
And this is just some of the data being discussed. A town hall meeting with the city business owners, Tobin Hill and Monte Vista neighbors will happen on Wednesday, May 25th at 6:30 at St. Sophia Church.
And talking about St. Mary's Strip from parking to power. A look at your headlines in your Nightbeat News Flash. The St. Mary's Strip saw some power problems tonight. CPS Energy estimated they could fix the problem by 8 o'clock, but one food truck operator said that wasn't soon enough for him.
We normally close at 10, so it wouldn't really be worth it to come in for 2 hours, so it puts us out of a job for the day.
CPS Energy says they had reports of a car hitting a pole leading to that outage. About 1,300 customers impacted tonight. It appears that outage has since been fixed. Two brothers accused in a robbery that turned deadly. It's day 2 in the trial of Eduardo Torres, who faces a capital murder charge. Today, the jury presented with videos of his interrogation for that crime back in 2016. In one of those videos, Torres blames his brother for that man murdered at a bus stop.
If it's murder, then that's what he did. I didn't shoot nobody. He's not right in the head to begin with.
Eduardo Torres still denies taking part in any crime. His own brother has taken a plea deal in the case, and he's expected to testify against Eduardo during this trial. Kids ages 5 to 11 years old are now eligible for a COVID vaccine booster. That comes after the CDC's immunization committee voted to recommend the booster for at least 5 months after a child is fully vaccinated. CDC Director Rochelle Walensky endorsed the recommendation tonight. The CDC also encouraging Americans 12 and older who are immunocompromised, as well as those 50 and older, to get that second booster shot. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash. Our coverage continues tonight on the human smuggling cases that are keeping Dilley police busy. The police chief says their department has initiated 26 chases so far this year. Yeah, the night team's Lee Waldman was able to get an exclusive ride along as Dilley officers work with other agencies to curb the dangerous trend in and around their city.
All of these pursuits have been coming into our area, which makes it really challenging to try to keep them away from our residential town.
The chases are forcing Dilley Police Chief Homer Delgado to plan for additional safety measures daily, including to protect a parade for high school seniors.
We're having to plan heavy equipment to block the roadways in case there's a pursuit that comes into town.
Delgado and Sergeant Adrian Ruiz allowed us to see what they're experiencing firsthand. Ruiz suited me up with a bulletproof vest, loaded his vehicle, we took off.
5802 for a radio check.
It didn't take long for radio traffic to pick up.
Corporal Garza is reporting that they're on a traffic stop with Border Patrol agents at the intersection of the West Axis Road and 35.
When we get there, we see several Border Patrol units, a Frio County Sheriff's unit, and Dilley Police units. Ruiz says the increase in human smuggling and chases has allowed them to work with other departments closely.
The agents suspect that the person that they're making contact with is somebody that's actively engaged in organized criminal activity.
Ruiz wouldn't tell us the person's name because they weren't under arrest, but he says they call a lot of the shots in the crime world around Dilley.
Out of San Antonio, negative, stolen, insurance showing, confirmed.
I'll be out with this vehicle. We advise it looks like there's a bullet hole in the trunk of the vehicle.
This driver wasn't under arrest, just handcuffed while officers did their jobs. Throughout the man's interaction with Ruiz and other responding officers, his phone kept ringing.
We found several cell phones in the glove box, which is a common tactic used by scouts because they'll just use one phone after the other because they suspect that they've been caught.
Scouts are essentially the eyes of criminal activities. Ruiz says they report where law enforcement is and are sometimes used as a distraction. By early evening, no one had been arrested and things were surprisingly quiet. Ruiz believes it's because Dilley PD and other departments are out in force. He says it shows what they're doing is working.
We're going to continue to intercept and try and dismantle these human smuggling operations that are in and around Frio County.
All of the vehicles we were following with Dilley Police Department were private vehicles, no large trucks. Chief Delgado said when increased inspections started on the border, they saw smugglers switching their techniques. He added 90% of the stolen vehicles they are chasing are coming from right here in San Antonio. Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
And for a change, we did not break a record today. 98 was our high, and that was 3 degrees shy of the record, well above our average high of 87. But temperatures, they'll be dropping as rain chances rise in the days ahead. A few days in particular stand out for the best chances of rain. I'm going to talk about that in more detail coming up.
Plus, our Tim Gerber goes behind the kitchen door at 2 local businesses where inspectors made a furry find coming up.
And a local teen dragged for miles before she died. The driver accused in her death now learning his own fate. That story is next, right here on the Nightbeat.
A 20-year-old man sentenced to 15 years in prison after pleading guilty to intoxication manslaughter. It is in connection with the death of a 16-year-old girl 2 years ago. Stephen Xavier Medina was on drugs behind the wheel when his 3 passengers asked him to pull over to let them out because of his erratic driving. This was in January of 2020. He pulled over and only 2 people got out before he drove off. 16-year-old Jessica Medina was tangled in a seatbelt and couldn't free herself as he sped down the road. Investigators say she was dragged nearly 4 miles. Prosecutors say Stephen Medina is not related to the victim. He must serve half of his 15-year sentence before he's eligible for parole.
New tonight, a dead mouse, rodent droppings, and filthy bathrooms lead to a low score for a Northwest Side bar and a pizza chain ordered to undergo re-inspection due to repeat violations. It's what the night team's Tim Gerber found when he went behind the kitchen door.
First up this week, the Highlander Grill and Bar located in the 5500 block of Fredericksburg Road over on the Northwest Side. The bar racked up numerous violations which led to a low score of 70. The inspector found uncovered hard cheese in the cooler along with other uncovered items which could lead to cross-contamination. A foul smell was coming from the kitchen sink and the men's restroom had a strong urine smell. The inspector found a trap with a dead mouse in it, as well as rodent droppings in the kitchen. In addition to needing a visit from a pest control expert, the place also needed a good cleaning because the inspector found a heavy accumulation of grease on the walls and a black mold-like substance on most of the walls in the bar and kitchen. The bar was ordered to undergo a re-inspection. Our next stop is the Little Caesars in the 900 block of W.W. White Road over on the southeast side.
This location earned a score of a 78 when inspectors came by on April 25th. That's the same score they had last September when inspectors stopped by, and they had nearly identical violations, which earned them a re-inspection.
Each time, inspectors found prepped pizzas at 61 degrees. That's 20 degrees warmer than required. Both visits also noted employees needed to do a better job of washing their hands and keeping the walls, floors, and ceiling panels cleaned. Inspectors came back on May 10th for a re-inspection and found all of the corrections had been made. That's what's behind the kitchen door. Tim Gerber, KSAT 12 News.
You can catch Tim's BKD reports on Thursday nights right here on the Nightbeat. Several restaurants also got perfect scores. To see who did a good job, use your phone to scan this QR code, and it'll take you right to our perfect scores database on KSAT.com.
All right, taking a live look outside over the quarry. Beautiful purple pinkish look out there. Got to tell you, if you were out there today, it was so hot, and it's been like this all week. You don't have to go outside.
We need a break. I do go outside, just, not for my job.
Just between the car and the home.
Yeah, exactly. That's enough.
It's hot enough.
Yeah, I think you'll like this combination that's coming our way. Temperatures on the way down and rain chances on the way up. High temperatures will be down in the lower 80s by Sunday. This isn't going to happen overnight. Still a few days away, a few more days of heat. But take a look at our rain chances. 20% tomorrow, 20 to 30% Saturday. What days really stand out are Sunday and Tuesday. That's when we have the best chance of some soaking showers and thunderstorms. And I think Tuesday overall really is our best bet of some drought denting rainfall. Let's get to that in a bit. I want to talk temperatures first. Take a look at our month so far. Every day has been above average. Next couple of days should be above average, and then we could actually drop below average for a change by Sunday and Monday. And look at the string of records, 5 days in a row of record high temperatures until today. We broke that streak. I want to talk about the cold front that's headed our way. Red and orange colors indicate the warmer temperatures on this map. Blue, green indicate the cooler temperatures. You can see where the front is. It has now moved through Denver. Denver earlier today, right near 90 degrees, now down to 50. They're going to have about 6 inches of snow into tomorrow behind this front. Temperatures in the 40s and even some 30s behind that front. It's going to move our way. Of course, we're not going to have temperatures that cool. The air modifies as it moves south, but it's going to have an impact on how it feels outside. So currently we're still in the 80s and even some upper 70s closer to the Gulf Coast. Gonzales, Victoria, 79. Hondo, meanwhile, 85. Uvalde, you're 87. 79 in Bernie. Stinson on the south side measuring 84 degrees. Tomorrow morning, mid-70s, pretty straightforward. You'll notice the stickiness outside, a little extra cloud cover to start the day too. Then by the afternoon, we make it back into the upper 90s right near 100. Castroville and Devine, 100. New Braunfels, 98, and Bernie, 95. And check out that temperature trend. 97 tomorrow, 98 on Saturday. That would tie the record, by the way, for Saturday. So we could have another record-breaking day. Then we get into Sunday, and it wouldn't even surprise me if some parts of our area north of San Antonio were in the upper 70s for high temperatures. Mid-80s then next week. So it looks like the not as hot temperatures will be around and stick around through next week. Let's talk rain chances again. Upper disturbance in northern Mexico that's headed our way. It could be enough to break the cap tomorrow and kickstart a couple of thunderstorms. Not a lot of confidence in that right now. 20% chance. Cold front. There it is, moving through Colorado and parts of the plains. That's going to gradually be pushing southward, and we're going to have that affecting us as we get into the late Saturday and especially early Sunday, boosting our rain chances then. 74 in the morning, 97 in the afternoon, 20% chance tomorrow and Saturday for just a few pop-up afternoon storms. Sunday, a little better coverage for some showers and storms periodically through the day. Tuesday stands out as our best shot of some soaking rain still.
Nice pool weather this week.
There you go. All right, Greg, we're months away from the start of college football. but the war of words has begun.
This is incredible. I've never seen anything like this, and the response that was involved. Nick Saban accusing the Fighting Texas Aggies of cheating, and Jimbo Fisher's unbelievable response when we come back.
It's the second time we've had to do this with grown men who don't get their way and want to pout, throw a fit, and act up. Just go ask all the people who work for him. You'll know exactly what he's about. I always said this. My dad always told me this. When people show you who they are, believe them. He's showing you who he is.
Texas A&M head football coach Jimbo Fisher with a fiery rebuttal after Alabama head coach Nick Saban accuses the Aggies of cheating to win the best recruiting class in the nation. Jimbo Fisher was livid as he defended the Aggie football program recruits and their families after Nick Saban's cheating allegations were delivered last night. It came during a meeting with businessmen and women in Birmingham to promote what they're calling the World Games in July when he made the accusation during his 7-minute unsolicited rant about the new name, image, and likeness rule.
We were second in recruiting last year. A&M was first. A&M bought every player on their team, made a deal for name, image, and likeness. All right, we didn't buy one player. All right, but I don't know if we're going to be able to sustain that in the future because more and more people are doing it.
The accusation sent Fisher into a rage in a hastily called news conference in College Station at 10 this morning, where he assured the Aggie faithful that they were playing by the rules while unleashing his anger on Saban.
Some people think they're God. go dig into how God did his deal. You may find out about a guy that a lot of things you don't want to know. We built him up to be the czar of football. Go dig into his past, or anybody that's ever coached with him. You can find out anything you want to find out, what he does and how he does it. And it's despicable.
Remember, Fisher worked for Saban as the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach at LSU from 2000-2004, telling us he knows the Alabama coach pretty well.
You can call me anything you want to call me. You ain't calling me a cheat. I don't cheat and I don't lie. So I learned that when I was a kid. If you did, the old man slapped you side of the head. Maybe somebody should have slapped him. But that's one thing you don't. Now you're fooling with their name. That don't. From Texas A&M's name, you're saying with those kids' name and our name. I'll put it with any of them.
Now, this is the second straight season there's been a dust-up between these two coaches after Fisher last season vowed that A&M would beat Bama, and they did it. 41-38 upset over the then #1 team in the country, becoming the first of Saban's former assistants to beat him. And when asked about any future relationship with his former boss, all Fisher would say today is, we're done. Boston Celtics playing Game 2 tonight in the Eastern Conference Finals against Miami, I should say, without former Spurs Derek White. Now, the guard who was traded to Boston on the day of the trade deadline, given tonight off since he and his wife are having a baby. Congratulations, Derek. In Miami tonight, Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals, Boston Al Horford and Marcus Smart both back in the lineup after missing Game 1. Miami jumps out in front here early. Max Strus from behind the arc gives the Heat a 10-point lead, but from that point on, it's all Celtics. Peyton Pritchard for the 3, Marcus Smart for the 3, and Grant Williams back-to-back threes. Boston goes on a 25-3 run to go from being down 10 to being up 11 in the first quarter. The onslaught continued in the second. Jason Tatum slamming it down right here. Then Tatum for the 3, and the lead is up to 25. Tatum would have 20 at the break. Boston is in control 70-45 at halftime. After being down by as many as 29 in the first half, the Heat start to chip away at the Celtics lead. Jimmy Butler knocks down the mid-ranger jumper. Then he attacks the paint for the bucket and the foul. And Boston lead is down to 17. The Celtics bend but don't break. Tatum for the 3. It's good, and the lead is back up to 25 going to the fourth. Marcus Smart drains the step-back 3, and the lead grows to 30. Boston had 3 players with 24 points or more, led by Tatum's 27. Boston steals Game 2, home court advantage as they head back home for Game 3 on Saturday, 127-102. High school baseball playoffs coming up next. The Reagan girls golf team getting a round of applause for their state title before the start of the UIL Class 6A third-round series between the Rattlers and Smithson Valley tonight. Doesn't take long for the Rangers to score in Game 1 at NEISD Sports Park. Top of the first, 2 on. Ethan Gonzalez knocks a base hit into left center. Gavin Woods rounds third. He will score. It's 1-0 Smithson Valley after 1. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Reagan works the bases loaded with 2 out. Jacob King hits what looks like a routine grounder, but the ball is dropped at first base, allowing 1 run to score. The Rattlers score another on a bases loaded walk on the very next at-bat to take a 2-1 lead after 4, and that would be the final. Reagan takes Game 1. Earlier today, third round of the 3A baseball playoffs. Marion and Blanco get their 3-game series underway at NEISD Sports Park. Panthers on the attack early, first inning with runners on second and third. Devin Newsom gets the scoring started with a base hit to center field. That makes it 2-0, and the Panthers would lead 3-0 after 1. Fourth inning now, and it's 4-0 Blanco when Newsom is at the plate, and he rips this line drive down the third base line for an RBI single. The next batter is Dylan LaRue, who sends a pitch down the first baseline for another RBI single. Panthers score 5 in that inning. They take Game 1 10-0 in 5. Game 2 tomorrow. And the first round of the PGA Championship right now, Rory McIlroy is in the lead, 5 under 65. Tiger Woods struggled today. In fact, he re-injured that right leg. We'll see if he's able to go tomorrow for round 2.
Yeah, that's the big concern right there, the leg.
Because he limped off today.
All right.
He finished, but limped off.
Yeah. Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Greg. We'll be right back.
You know, this weather may be perfect pool weather, as Patty said earlier in the show. Maybe even if you're an 11-foot alligator in Florida. They took the opportunity to take a swim in a neighbor's pool. The homeowners called deputies to get the animal out of the pool. By the way, this guy weighed in at 550 pounds.
Imagine jumping in without looking.
No. Surprise.